Hey everybody, welcome to Mondays with Leo and Rory. I'm Leo.
And I'm Rory.
And we are so glad that you are with us here this Monday morning. And we know that you probably got nothing else to do right now if you're sitting at home. Some of you maybe are doing online school, but we're just going to have some fun today.
Yeah, so grab some chips and enjoy.
Yeah, whatever kind of snack you want.
Or chips.
I like chips. That's a good option. Hey everybody, welcome to Hot Takes. This is the time that we are going to take some news and events, some current things going on, and we are going to give you our opinions on those. Not that you may want them. I don't know if you want them or not, but...
Too bad, here they are.
Too bad you're watching the video. So here it goes. So Rory, we're going to start with you. What news do you have for us today?
Leo, have you ever been stressed out?
Yeah, I've definitely been stressed out.
Do you usually stress eat after that?
Stress eating, is one of my favorite things to do, unfortunately.
All right, so it's a couple of steps before stress eating. It's going to be the same animal. Usually, if you're stressed, you want a good cheeseburger. You're going to want to go to Jack's Burgers. So a couple of steps before that cow has been turned into a burger, whenever it's still a cow, you can cuddle it to relieve some stress. And so this farm, they're allowing people to come to their farm and cuddle some cows because of bovine psychology. Cows are far more sophisticated and sensitive than the simple grazers they are perceived to be. And this is a good way to get back with nature, and just de-stress. And so, what's your opinions about this, Leo?
Yeah, so did they just say that cows are more sophisticated? Would you read that again?
Yeah. So cows are far more and this is from a bovine psychologist. Well, researchers learning more about bovine psychology. Cows are far more sophisticated and sensitive than the simple grazers they are perceived to be.
Wow. So my view, if only I had known that this was a business. I'm sure people are actually paying to do this because I grew up in the country, like around cows. And so, we didn't typically invite you out to the farm for you to cuddle with the cow. But, I guess it makes sense. But I don't know. It's it's interesting. So what do you think about it, though?
I'm kind of the same boat as you. I know that some places, like back before Tana and I got married, she was going to DBU and I would go visit her. And then they had businesses where you could cuddle puppies to relieve stress, like for college students, for work, all this kind of stuff. Because you pet animals, you pet dogs. I don't know, it's like the love hormone, it starts with OXY or something like that. I forgot what it is, but your body releases it and it makes you feel good, It's a good endorphin.
Yeah, if you know what that is, would you just comment? 2 things in one. Comment right now if you think, and let us know if you would be into the cow cuddling as a stress reliever, but also let us know what that love hormone is. I know what you're talking about. I think it's the happy, what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to try to say it because I think we'd mess it up.
That would be my WWE wrestler name, the love hormone.
Yeah, WWE. So.
And so, but if you're doing it with cows, 2 birds, 1 stone. You get after you do that, then you get to eat it afterwards.
Yeah, wow, yeah, that's so good. Obviously, on Mondays, Leo and Roy, we are very much pro meat here. So
I thought about being a vegetarian, but it sounded like one big mistake.
Wow. Unfortunately, you weren't here Wednesday night because we did dad jokes. And,
oh, for real?
Yeah, we were told by everybody to never do dad jokes again. So, all right. So moving along. So I have my news for the day is very interesting. I know everybody is tired of coronavirus news. And so I thought we're not doing any coronavirus news no matter what. Unfortunately, my news is coronavirus related a little bit. And so I don't know if you saw this or not, but there in Memphis, Tennessee, there was a teacher who supposedly had coronavirus at the school. And so parents were taking extreme measures to make sure that they did not bring it home with them. But it was a little bit over the top, I guess you could say. And so what was going on is that these kids, and we'll make sure we have this video at least linked in the description for this video, they were coming out and parents were taking Clorox wipes and wiping down their things. That's not that crazy. Let's be honest, that that's not that crazy right now because we should be cleaning those things. But then this mom comes out and she has like a bottle, or maybe it's a dad, of disinfectant spray. It begins to like spray their kids in the face and in the eyes, and it's just this crazy scene. And they're like, hey, this is not the way that we should do it. But that's not even the best part of the video. The best part is like later on in the video, you see a lady. She comes out of her house, and they're interviewing her, and she is wrapped. She has wrapped herself in like these Dollar General and Walmart plastic bags, and so and basically saying that that's going to protect her from the coronavirus and stuff like that. They're wrapped around her shoes and things like that. But there are like during this time we have to be safe, but it was just a little bit crazy. And so Rory, give us your view, your opinion on that. Like, how far is too far, you think? Should we be spraying people in the eyes with disinfectant, or what do you think?
Well, I saw that. I don't have a Facebook anymore. I gave it up for, I think, finals like 3 years ago whenever I was like, I had some finals coming up and I was spending too much time on Facebook. So I got rid of it. But then Tana still has one. So she showed me that video and I cut it off right whenever the dude started spraying his son in the face with the disinfectant spray. I'm like, he took you a face for a solid like 3 seconds. And the kid's just standing there like this. And the dad's like, and I'm like, isn't that a little bit too far? Yeah. And so I cut it off at that point. And the whole thing with like the bags, I mean, I guess it can function with two things. You can also lose some weight, make a little sauna suit with your trash bags, protect you.
Birds, one stone.
Yeah.
Type deal there.
But honestly, like, I don't know, me naturally, I don't really hang out with a lot of people. I'm naturally an introvert, so like this has been kind of like amazing for me, hanging out with less people.
Yeah.
But I get if you're around a lot of people, you really want to be safe. But I mean, honestly, just do like what the CDC has said, which is like, don't hang out with too many people. If you do, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. They said certain masks don't even work. And so I'm pretty sure that those like bags on your face also wouldn't work. I saw this one lady, Tana showed me another video on Facebook. She used a diaper and cut a hole in like the one part of it and put it on and then closed it up over her face, like the Velcro part, And I was like, dude, we got a ton of extra diapers with Ranger,
Yeah. So, I actually saw that this morning. A lady, wrapping her face in diaper, and I thought, we're set because we have drawers and boxes full of diapers. But we're in no way saying that you shouldn't protect yourself from coronavirus. We're just saying that you don't have to go crazy out there. But let us know how you feel about this, and just leave a comment on the video and on this topic and everything. And so, hey, that is what we have for Hot Takes today. Join us next Monday, and we'll have more stories. You can submit stories to us. Let us know, and we'd love to talk about them and give our totally useless opinions on the subjects. All right, thank you very much. We are going to talk about Disney movies. And so recently, I don't know if you saw this, but because of the coronavirus pandemic and stuff, a lot of movie theaters are just moving to release movies on demand and put them on Disney Plus and stuff like that. And instead of going to see them in the theater. And so,
sad day.
Well, yeah, it is kind of sad. And so Rory is kind of what you would call a movie buff. And so that means he's extremely opinionated when it comes to movies. And so
annoyingly so.
So somebody released a top 10 Disney Pixar movies. And so we're going to just run through those top 10. And we're going to discuss, do we think they belong there? We would love for you to comment on here and let us know your thoughts and your views on this. And so,
unless you disagree with me, in which case, stop watching now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you disagree with Rory, that's okay. Let us know. Okay. So here we go. All right. In top 10, in the number 10 spot, they put Lilo and Stitch. And so I remember when that movie came out when I was pretty young. Actually, a lot of the movies that are on here came out when I was young, and so Have you seen Lilo and Stitch?
Yes, I have. I dig it right there at number 10, man. Ohana
Yeah.
means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. That's a nice
Yeah.
that's a nice meaning behind the movie. You know, it's all
Yes.
about family and sticking with people. I dig it. Yeah.
So you're saying it should definitely be in the top 10.
Yeah, I dig
All right.
it. Yeah.
So number 9 is Ratatouille. So yeah, Ratatouille is it's on Disney Plus right now, and like my kids are loving it. And you know, is it top 10? I don't know if it's top 10. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I kind of like it too. It's all
Yeah.
about like this guy. He has a dream. He sticks with it. You know, he pursues it. And also, I wanted to be a chef for like 3 years of my life. I'm like, here's gonna be my title, Chef Boy Rory. You know, kind of like Chef Boy RD. Like that was gonna be like my like.
You heard
that
it
was gonna
here
be my
first.
title.
Will you say that again?
Yeah, instead of Chef Boy RD, well, also RD's my initials, Rory Dunson, but
Wow.
my chef name was gonna be Chef Boy Rory.
Yeah.
But then I got called to ministry, man. You know, God couldn't curse the earth with my cooking. You know, so
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad that we're all getting to learn some stuff about you too. All right, so coming in at number 8 is The Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, so you know, I really actually don't know that much about The Emperor's New Groove. My wife has told me about it, and she watched it. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, David Spade is hilarious, and his
Yeah.
voice in there whenever he screams is the best. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have strong feelings like against it or for it, so
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I don't either. Yeah.
I'd rather it wasn't in the top 10, but I'll allow it.
Once we get done with the whole top 10 list, then we'll discuss, you know, if some of these movies shouldn't be here or if there's one. We'll wait till the end and see if there's one that's missing that we should be there. The next one at number 7, I do not agree with. I think it should be higher up the list, and it's Toy Story 3. You know, Toy Story 3, wow. You know, there's not very many Disney movies that would make you sad. And not admitting here that I would ever cry during a Disney movie, but I did, you know, maybe I may have teared up just a little bit because, you know, it's a good story, man. And basically when this came out, it's like my childhood was coming to an end, even though, you know, I was like in my 20s or so. So what do you think about it sitting there at number 7?
Dude, honestly, I think they should have stopped with like, I got number 2. Number 2 is good, Toy Story 2. I'm not a fan of sequels, you know, so I mean, honestly, I kind of watched it, didn't really watch it, kind of watched number 4, which was also, you know, not that good, so
yeah,
I'm going to say I'm not that big of a fan, but
okay, wow.
I don't know, man.
So you would move it like, you don't even, should it be in the top 10?
I don't think it should be in the top 10.
Wow, that is so disappointing. You know, I think Toy Story 4 should definitely not be in the top 10 because,
Okay, good.
you know, I felt like 3 was a good end, but then 4, you know, it's kind of creepy, like the dolls walking around, and it's like, hey, you know, hey, Woody, you know, you've got your little voice box in there, maybe I can have that, and it was just kind of,
it got really weird.
And I was watching it with my kids, but
and little Bo Peep or whatever is like on like the sandbox, and like she's like rebuilding toys that are out there. Like it got kind of weird.
Yeah. So that was number 7, Toy Story 3. Now coming in at number 6, which, you know, I don't know, maybe it should be up higher to me. I don't know. Is the movie Up?
Ooh.
Now, what do you think
one.
about that one, man?
I really like Up, you know, like what was like, it was like a 2-minute long, like, you know, love story that was better than like any other Disney or Pixar movie it had like for the whole movie, you know, like that opening sequence, you know, of him meeting the girl, like what was her name? Addie or something like that. I forgot her name.
Oh man.
I forgot her name.
Wow.
But like it basically like shows them
he only like talks to her the whole time, you know, while he's walking his house. So yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. And I may or may not have watched this movie like 2 days ago with my kids. So it's pretty disappointing. So Up, man, it's a great story, you know, just of perseverance, you know, finishing the race and doing that thing that he always wanted to do. And it is kind of sad. Like, I don't know why Disney movies, you know, typically are uplifting, but, you know, this one was
uplifting.
Oh, couldn't help it. So,
well, also, like, you know, it kind of like, his hero for the whole story, for the whole movie, you kind of realize that his hero wasn't really someone worth looking up to. And I think that's a good message, like kind of like for kids, like, hey, be careful of who you're looking up to, or like don't worship, don't be like a hero worshiper, because that person might not be who you think they are.
Yeah,
you know, like Leo.
Exactly. You never know who people are. No, I know that's a great message. So I like Up definitely in the top 10.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I like it.
Coming in at number 5 is Inside Out. Now, I don't know if it should be at number 5, and I'm going to say it shouldn't be at number 5. It was a good movie, you know, and talking about like your emotions and how that may or may not work, just kind of an illustration of that. But it did have a good point that you know, the girl in the end needed not just her happy memories, not just her joyful memories, but she needed to feel that sadness to kind of move on and process things. And so I think it's a good movie. Is it the 5th best of all time? I don't know about that, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 4 is Aladdin.
Oh boy!
And listen, we're not talking about Will Smith Aladdin.
Yeah.
We are talking about the original Aladdin. Okay.
Robin Williams. Yeah.
Robin Williams, the GOAT. That, you know, I don't know. I agree. This thing should be in the top 5. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, it's my number 2 Disney movie of all time. But yeah, like I think
you throw it up in there in the top 2.
Yeah, I throw it up in the top 2. Like, first of all, like, it's hilarious. It's got Robin Williams, but you know, I really like movies that kind of show you like, hey, what you're wishing for isn't really what's best for you. You know, like they both kind of have these wishes. Like Jasmine wants to get out of the palace, and then Aladdin just wants, like, you know, to know what that's like, and he tries to change who he is to get that, you know. And so I think it's got a good message. I think it's hilarious. Have you seen like the outtakes of like Robin Williams just like talking for 5 hours and then trying to condense it for the movie?
I have not seen that, but that is
so
something
good.
You know I would
it's so
be
good.
You know interested in seeing. Yeah, definitely. When I remember a lot of these movies, especially Aladdin. Like when I was a kid, they came out on VHS, and so it was one of the first VHS, if you even know what that is.
Back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day.
Back in my day.
You know, we had VHS. You know, there was this thing there was this place called Blockbuster, and you would have to, you know, rewind the video and take it back, and if you didn't rewind it, then you were charged. Like,
or they even sold like the little like rewinder machines.
Yeah,
what were they called?
Machines, a rewinder machine.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't have any idea, but yeah. So Aladdin, absolutely in the top up there for me. Now, number 3, I don't agree with this. Maybe those of you who are younger viewers, you may see this, but I don't see it. They put The Incredibles as number 3. Now, The Incredibles, it's a good movie, but you know, the storyline, I just don't see it being a top 3 Disney movie. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think it deserves to be in the top 5. I really like it because it came out whenever I was a kid. Most of these other ones came out post. Like, they came out before I was even born, you know, like some of them. Yeah. Like, I think they're probably going to have Lion King on here, and that came out before I was born, I think. But, yeah, this came out whenever I was, like, a kid growing up, and so I like it. I like the animation. I really like the idea of, like, superheroes and stuff like that, but I don't think it belongs in the top 5.
Yeah.
Top 10 maybe, but not
top 5. I don't either. Sorry, Incredibles fans, but we're going to have to pass on that one.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 2, Beauty and the Beast. But you already said Beauty and the Beast. You already said Aladdin should be number 2. Beauty and the Beast at number 2. I mean, Beauty and the Beast, you know, for the most part, you know, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not bad, you know, and it just tells all of us guys out there that, you know, regardless of how we look, there's still a chance.
Oh, thank God.
You know,
thank God.
There's a shot. There's a chance for all of us.
Especially with this nose right here. Sometimes if I turn too quick, I'll, like, knock someone out, you know, so yeah, I think it's a good message.
Man,
you know?
Yeah, so, you know, I think there's a good message with Beauty and the Beast, and and we're talking about the VHS version of this. We're not talking about the new one, but still, I would put it up there. Now, coming in at number 1 is none other than The Lion King. And so,
saw it coming.
Man, I 100% agree with this because I am a huge Lion King fan. I was a small kid. I saw Lion King come out in the movie theaters, and I still remember being a kid and going to the theater and watching Mufasa die in the canyon, and it just wrecked me. And here I am, 32 years old, still talking about it, like I still feel that emotion, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and it's a great story about your identity,
Mm-hmm.
and who you are created to be and who you are meant to be. And I think about that, obviously think about like God creating us and our identity and who we're meant to be. So what are your thoughts on that, on the Lion King?
I mean, I get the reasoning for it. As a diehard like Shakespeare and like Shakespeare nerd and also like theater nerd, like Hamlet is up there, and this is basically like a remake of Hamlet, kind of. So I
Uh,
dig it being up there. I mean, just in terms of like the way that it shaped the culture. I mean, we still use Hakuna Matata every single day. You
yeah.
know, we say it all the time. I mean, like we still talk about Mufasa. Like, I mean, yeah, I think like social impact and like culture impact wise,
Yeah.
I think it stood the test. I get why they put it at number one. Let me ask you this, like,
Okay.
um, you watched this as a kid, you said,
Yeah.
and like Mufasa dying, like shook you.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you identified with Simba. Whenever the new one came out and you had kids, did like maybe you see it in a different light since you had a kid, like Mufasa dying?
Oh man.
did you identify more with Mufasa and like kind of like have more like just being more sad for Simba at that point, or what?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, thanks for making me feel old, like an old dad. But yeah, the older, it's interesting how you identify with different characters in
Hmm.
different seasons of your life. And
Yep.
so yeah, watching Mufasa and seeing him die and watching Simba be sad and me having three kids, yeah, it was a kind of a different emotion
Hmm.
because you really feel worse for him, and so yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's interesting how that happens. And not to go off into like a side topic here, but we many times in when there's a hero in the movie, we always identify with
Hmm.
that as the hero, and we never identify as a villain when sometimes we maybe a movie's trying to teach us that we are the villain and we need to change
Hmm.
how we are. So let's talk about, like, is there a movie that should have been the top 10 that didn't make it?
Hmm.
And I can think of one movie for sure
Me
right
too.
now, but you go ahead, give us the didn't make the top 10 on this list. Go
Hmm.
ahead, what is
Well,
it?
like my number one is Hercules. Like I think Hercules should be
Hercules.
number one. So here's how my list would have gone. Would have been Hercules number one, Aladdin number two,
Yeah.
and then Lion King maybe number three.
Mhm.
Yeah, like those would be like my top three. I guess maybe because I'm a guy, and so putting Hercules up there at number one.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like I've always really dug, mythology, and kind of like the way that like Tolkien talks about this a lot, and so does C.S. Lewis. How like you can tell a lot about the culture by their mythos, and also like him allowing them to have mythology was kind of like shaping them to get ready for Christ. So they had like demigods who
Yeah.
would come and save them, like God coming to earth to save them, and that's what Jesus did. So whenever they heard about it, they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we have mythologies that kind of sound like that, and so they were able to understand Christ in a way, kind of like the Israelites, they had the Messiah promise coming of the Messiah, and that's how they were
Yeah.
prepared for Christ. And so I've always really dug mythology. So I like Aladdin because of that. I think it's got a really good message. Of him looking for a place where he finally belongs. We kind of have that in Christ. So I mean,
Yeah.
that'd probably be my number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one, man. And I would, yeah, I'm not saying, yeah. What's hard for me is, like, I don't know. For me, I would still have Lion King number one, but there's a movie missing from this list that I think absolutely deserves to be on this list, and it's Finding Nemo.
Oh,
How in the world did Finding Nemo
not find its way
make
on there.
the top 10? I
Yeah.
mean, Finding Nemo, the story of the absolute, unending, undying, a father's love, pursuit of his son to find him and to love him, and just the story that happens with that. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
how Finding Nemo didn't make this top 10. So
Yeah.
this is the worst top 10 ever.
I agree with
Because,
you. I think that Toy Story 3 should be switched out for Finding Nemo.
yeah, I don't know about that. I'd probably kick out, like, Emperor's New Groove maybe or something, and
Good old Cusco.
throw in. Yeah, so I would have. Yeah. Anyway, so Finding Nemo. Just an incredible story. I remember in high school, like in Spanish class, we had to watch it in Spanish over and over again. And so, for those of you out there who speak Spanish, Buscando a Nemo was like
Que bueno.
the thing. Que bueno. So, hey, that's it for our Disney movie top 10. We're glad that you joined us for this. And so, before we close out this time, Rory had a very interesting take on Disney movies that he was going to share. So go ahead, man.
All right, so let's talk for a minute about like the psychology of like what kind of pushes our psychology whenever we watch Disney movies. It seems like whenever you watch these Disney movies, almost every single one, the kid goes against the parents' wishes, and then everything turns out well. You see that with Jasmine. Like she goes against her father's wishes. You see like Belle, she rebels against her father. Like you see all these things. Kind of like these kids rebelling against their parents, and everything turns out really well in the end. But that's not usually the way it turns out in real life.
Yeah, not even close. It's interesting because everything that we watch, everything that we let into our eyes and our minds and our hearts affects us and affects how we view things. And we know the Bible says honor your mother and father, and talks about the blessing that comes out of that.
Yeah.
So it is interesting that, because like Rory was talking to me before this video and sharing this idea with me, and I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting, because I didn't realize that. But
I'm not saying like I love Disney movies. I've got Disney Plus. I watch The Mandalorian. I love Disney. But I guess let us know what y'all think. If that
comments like
what do you think about like that thought? Like, am I wrong? I could be wrong.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just thinking too much about it and being a movie hater. But yeah,
it could be. Hashtag movie hater.
He hates Disney.
Let's get it trending.
Burn him at the stake. Yeah.
So, all right, well, that's it for our Disney movie discussion. If you want to hear us talk about other movies or different genres or stuff like that, just leave us some comments, and we'll do it maybe next Monday for Mondays with Leo and Rory.
Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching Mondays with Leo and Rory. We're super excited to make it, and we really hope that y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah, so if you like the content, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure that you share this with your friends, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday. See you later. Bye.